Welcome, folks. I'm Jaby Koay, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
What's up, guys?
We're looking at a Screen Rant video, pitch meeting, Godzilla versus Kong. So thank you, Screen Rant, for allowing us to react to this. Very much appreciate it. Y'all, if you haven't already, subscribe to Screen Rant's YouTube channel and also to Ryan George's personal YouTube channel. He's got a lot of funny stuff there as well. All right, here we go.
So, you have a movie for me? Yes, sir, I do. What if Big Monkey punched Big Reptile? Oh, and vice versa? Vice versa, too. Amazing. So how does this thing play out? Well, during the intro credits, we're gonna show all the monsters that Godzilla and Kong have defeated, right? And that it's all been leading up to this big showdown. Oh, so these movies have been like a Titan tournament this whole time? Sure, maybe. Very cool. So we're gonna meet this guy, Bernie, who has a conspiracy theory podcast, right? And he works for this big corporation called Apex. Okay. And so on his podcast, he's like, well, today's the day I'm gonna go steal some information from my employers. And the big corporation has no idea that one of their employees is running a full-on podcast about stealing information.
Right?
They don't know. And actually them having horrible security is gonna be a common thing in this movie. Oh, how come? Well, because if they had competent security, that would kind of just slow the movie down, so that's just not gonna be a thing at all. Fair enough. Anyway, then for some mysterious reason, Godzilla ends up attacking Apex. Oh, so Bernie was right, something weird was going on? Exactly. I think it's important, especially in this day and age, to, put a positive spin on conspiracy theorists online, really make them into heroes. Anyway, so because of the attack, people are like, wait, is Godzilla not our savior anymore? Was he ever the savior? He personally stepped on thousands of people. Well, he's kind of the savior to the people he didn't personally step on. I guess that makes sense. So anyway, we're also gonna see Kong, and he's living on Skull Island under 24-hour observation inside that dome from the Hunger Games.
I know, that's right.
We find out that all the native humans from Skull Island were killed in a big storm, except for this little deaf girl named Gia, and he has a special bond with her. Oh, that's nice. Yeah, and without anybody knowing, she fully teaches him sign language. How did she secretly teach a giant monkey sign language while it was under constant supervision? Unclear. A very stealthy educator. So then the obviously evil CEO of Apex approaches this guy Nathan Lind, who wrote a book about the Hollow Earth theory. Why is this guy evil? Oh, well, he secretly wants to make a Mecha Godzilla so the humans can defend themselves against Titans. That's actually a pretty reasonable thing to want. Yeah, but he's gonna look really evil while he does it, though. Oh, he is? Yeah, he does that thing where he drapes a jacket over his shoulders. Oh, only evil people do that. Gross. Exactly. So he wants to send this Nathan guy into the Hollow Earth to find a power source, but they need Kong to guide them. Why? Vague reasons that'll drive the plot forward. Perfect. So they put Kong on this ship, but then Godzilla's gonna attack, because that's what he does, he attacks other Titans all day. Sure, of course, he loves to do that. So they're gonna fight for quite some time, and Godzilla's gonna win. Oh, wow. But just as Godzilla's circling around to finish the job, Nathan's gonna tell this captain guy, hey, shut everything off, let's play dead. Okay. And this guy's like, okay, but this better work. So he's threatening to hurt Nathan if the plan goes wrong and the lizard kills them all? Yeah, if Godzilla kills everybody, Nathan's gonna be in big trouble with this guy. Sounds pretty serious. So then they're gonna play dead, and Godzilla's gonna be like, oh, okay, bye. Oh, it worked. It did, but then they're gonna say that as soon as they start moving again, Godzilla's gonna come back and finish the job. So what do they do?
Right.
Well, we're gonna cut to them later, and they're carrying Kong in this giant net by air. Well, how'd they do that without Godzilla noticing? By being off screen for a little bit. Oh, Godzilla can't see off screen stuff. Exactly. So then they head to this Hollow Earth place, and they have to go through this big weird wormhole, and gravity's all messed up down there. It's crazy. Does that not hurt them, the sudden change in gravity? It doesn't, no. Because you know how in 2014 Godzilla technology was pretty much standard military stuff? Yeah. Well, now just a couple years later, technology is full-on magic. Oh, it is? Yeah, so they have these little magical gravity spaceships that make little blue energy trails. They have tunnels that go from Florida to Hong Kong. Oh, these movies aren't gonna feel connected at all. Nope. And so they go around this Hollow Earth place, and Kong feels right at home, and there are a bunch of big monsters there. Wow, must be pitch black too, I imagine. No, it's like a beautiful sunny day. Oh, what's the light source? Unclear.
I didn't even think about that.
Kong is gonna find a throne, and he's gonna find this big
I didn't
axe
think
that's
about
made
that.
from Godzilla's dorsal
I didn't even
plate, and
think
this thing
about
freaking
that.
glows radioactive blue. Wow, so okay, we said in another movie that the
I didn't even
Titans
think
feed
about
off the intense radiation at the center of the Earth, right? We did, sure. And that's where all these humans are hanging out. That's right. So
Right.
They gonna be okay?
Yeah, sure. How?
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Oh, okay, I won't.
So anyway, meanwhile, through the movie, we're gonna be checking in with Madison. Remember her from the last movie? She's from the last movie. She is, and so she teamed up with a friend and that conspiracy guy, and they're just basically gonna be doing like their own little episode of Scooby-Doo.
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they're just kind of wandering around Apex, trying to solve a little mystery, encountering no security whatsoever, and having little to no impact on anything.
Sure, that may as well happen.
So then back in the Hollow Earth, the Apex people are gonna send an energy signature back up to Earth, and they're gonna use that to power their Mecha Godzilla.
What, so they email a power signature to...
Yeah, listen, sometimes we're just gonna say stuff and it's best not to think about it at all. But it's just that, yeah, we're just gonna kind of cut away to monsters punching each other really quickly, so nobody has any time to digest any of the mumbo jumbo we use as explanations.
Is that gonna work?
Sure it is. So anyway, Apex is gonna use Ghidorah's skulls as a supercomputer to make a psionic uplink and control the Mecha Godzilla telepathically.
Okay, but so
and then monsters are gonna punch each other.
Oh!
Godzilla senses that Kong is up to something weird, so he blasts a hole in the earth all the way down to the Hollow Earth area.
What about that weird wormhole section?
Yeah, you blast through that too, I guess. I don't care. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
And then Kong climbs up the hole.
Does he have to go through the wormhole again?
Oh, I'm gonna need you to get all the way off my back about that wormhole. That was several scenes ago. We're done with it.
Oh, okay, let me get off of that thing.
So then Godzilla and Kong are gonna fight and pretty much destroy Hong Kong.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's gonna be super intense. They're gonna fight and fight and fight. At a certain point, Godzilla's gonna be like, and Godzilla's gonna end up defeating King Kong and leaving him for dead.
Oh no.
And meanwhile, that evil CEO guy is gonna be doing like an evil monologue thing, but then Mecha Godzilla's gonna go rogue and crush him.
Oh.
And Bernie's gonna be like, that's unfair. I really wanted to hear the end of that speech.
A man just died in front of his eyes.
Yeah, so he makes a little joke instead of acting like a human person.
Okay.
So now Mecha Godzilla's being controlled by the ghost of Ghidorah or something. I don't care. It's gonna look great.
Sure, I bet.
And Godzilla could really use Kong's help, so the humans want to stop him from dying.
Oh man, it's gonna be tough for tiny humans to do that.
Actually, it's gonna be super easy. Barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Nathan's gonna be like, hey, maybe I could use that magical ship we've been flying around in as a defibrillator on this giant monkey.
Oh wow, okay, so this guy's like pretty experienced with this ship, huh?
He literally just learned it existed.
And he knows how to use it to restart a giant monkey's heart?
Sure, yeah, I don't care. And now that Kong is dead, he and Godzilla can team up against a common threat, which is what you have to do when your movie has versus in the title.
Oh, double teaming a robot is tight.
So then they manage to defeat Mecha Godzilla through the power of teamwork.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow.
And so then Godzilla's like, okay, bye, and Kong goes to live in Hollow Earth, and that's it, we're done.
Wow, really rushing to that ending, huh?
Well, we're done with the punching, so, you know, what's the point?
That makes sense.
And so, yeah, what do you think?
Well, I mean, it's a movie where a giant monkey gets in a fight with a giant reptile, you know? What could go wrong? Hey, everybody.
Why? What was that article?
And if you liked it, feel free to...
Wait, what?
What did it say? A small number of Zack Snyder fans are review bombing Godzilla vs. Kong because they are angry with Warner Brothers over not continuing the Snyderverse. What?
Well, it said a small number, so. I didn't even think about the light source thing. That caught me off guard.
Yeah,
'cause I
that
was
kind
like,
of
wait
blew
a
your
second.
mind, didn't it?
Because, you know, when you're watching it and you're just going through the adventure, you're not really considering the logic of anything.
Well,
Because-
I feel like you can't. When you watch this movie, you literally make an agreement at the door to just check logic.
Right.
Put it in a box and just put it away for like the hour and a half or 2 hours, however long the film is.
I guess what I was thinking is when they go through the portal, it's sort of tripping me up now. I think that what I imagined was they almost like an alternate dimension. So the light source didn't necessarily even matter because it was some other place, not even on Earth perhaps. Like it wasn't exactly clear to me, but then when Godzilla blows a hole through the Earth, it's like, oh yeah, it is Earth still. How does that make any sense? Like,
It's okay. It's okay. The writers didn't care and neither should we.
Because like, those are two major plot holes I didn't even consider because they have to go through this portal thing.
Just two?
Well, I mean, those are the two biggest ones. Consider, like, the thing about it is they have to go through this portal to get to, you know, what is this place called? The
Hollow Earth.
The Hollow Earth, right. And then Godzilla just blows a hole through the Earth.
Yeah, because he's that powerful.
To get there. And so it's like, if it's in the middle of the Earth,
It should be like magma or something.
where is the light source? Like, that is weird. That's why it blew my mind, because science. I'm like, wait a second.
Yeah, but like everything in this movie is more magic than science, and I think it was really smart of them to just kind of, you know, just rush through with all of the fighting. It starts off with a bang, and then there's lots and lots of fighting and stuff, because honestly,
as long as they keep you distracted, you're fine.
Exactly, and no one's watching this film because they want to watch a movie that's grounded in logic and science. You're watching it to watch Kong and Godzilla throw down and have a fight. And on that, they delivered. I thought it was really, really cool. But when you start breaking stuff down, it is really silly because like it is in the pitch meeting, it looks like the writers were just like, it's okay, never mind, there's gonna be a cool fight. Just let's give them the fighting, you know? And I had a really good time, but is it silly? Yes, 110%.
It was kind of amazing that she was able to teach Kong sign language while under constant observation.
Yeah, like I feel like these thoughts kind of started percolating at the back of my head when we were watching the film, but also because it moved on so quickly, it was like, oh no, I don't have time to really dwell on that thought for too long because we've moved on to the next thing now.
Right, the whole thing with the conspiracy theory guy leaking all the information and no one having any idea who he is was a little bit odd to me while watching the movie. I know you didn't even particularly care for his character.
I know.
But the thing about it is while I'm watching it, I'm like, how does no one like look at this and do a voice match recognition thing and go, you sound kind of like this guy. Is that you? Like not one person, and like he's just moving about in that facility without anyone impeding his path or process or whatever, and no one's going like, what are you doing? Like, you shouldn't be here. It was a little bit odd, but the movie's so goofy. It's like, well, that's the least of the problems with the film at that point. Like, there's so many other things.
Well, yeah, because you would think that their PR team or whatever would be listening to the podcast and going, we need to shut this guy down, but no one figured it out.
He pointed out something very important here, which is like, they really don't have any effect on the plot.
None at all. Like, as much as I enjoyed the little Kiwi kid, I was just like, I don't really care.
Right.
Like Millie Bobby Brown was kind of annoying me a little in this, which I'm sad to say because like I generally really like Millie Bobby Brown. Well, you know how I feel about Mr. Conspiracy Theorist guy. Like from the moment he came on the screen, I was like, you annoy me so much!
Right.
So stop!
One thing I want to give credit to the movie for is how the beginning just kind of moved along, because they showed the little girl with Kong, right? And you sort of got the sense of, well, they obviously developed a relationship in this jungle, and then you realize he's under observation in this dome.
Right.
And because I thought to myself while watching it, I'm like, they could just jump forward to them being in the dome already, because I get it. They developed a relationship in the jungle of some kind, and then they did that. I'm like, oh, that's actually clever. Because it's a jungle setting, a jungle terrain, you already get like how they probably know each other. And then the fact that he's inside of this dome, you're like, oh.
They were just kind of like, let's just move this on as quickly as possible. There's no need for, I guess, any additional exposition any more than we need.
Right.
It's just like, how do we move this along so we get to the action? When they were destroying Hong Kong, like the thought did flash through my mind, and I was kind of like, oh, where did all the people go? I hope they're safe. But they showed a little bit where everyone went into underground bunkers. I'm like, I'm sure everybody made it. I'm sure it's fine that they're decimating the city.
The thing about it is, there have been attacks before on Earth, and so surely by this point, people are aware that this is a potential problem. It's a hazard on Earth that could happen anytime. And so I would imagine that the smallest sign of something going down, people are running.
Which is what they did.
Yeah, which is what they did. And so it's, they're just rebuilding. This money's infinite. Just keep.
It's fine. Hong Kong's super rich. You're gonna be just fine.
Right.
You know, one thing that Ryan George said that I had not even thought about was the whole, jacket situation with the villain.
Yeah.
I thought that was just a really interesting thing to pick up on because I didn't even think like, oh, that makes him look super villainous, or why the hell is he wearing his jacket over his shoulders like a girl at prom night?
I just thought it was a rich person thing. I wasn't even thinking about it. I didn't think of it as a villain thing. I just thought it was like, he's rich. They have like extra clothes.
Yeah, I don't.
It's very lavish. you know.
Very specific, which just kind of, you know, increased the comedy factor.
I mean, on set, it was really cold.
Yeah.
So, you know. Anyway, that was fun, you guys. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Be sure to subscribe to Screen Rant as well as Ryan George's YouTube channel. And subscribe here as well if you could be so kind. Hit that bell icon, all notifications. I'm Jaby Koay. This is
ACHARA KIRK.
Peace out.